It all started with a small crack, the kind you notice out of the corner of your eye, but don't pay attention to until everything comes crashing down. My wife's name was Emily. We were happy. Well, that's what I thought. Our little son, Luke, was the meaning of my life. But the older he got, the more a vague, unexplainable anxiety stirred within me, in his smile, in the shape of his ears. There was nothing of me in him. It was like living with someone else's child, who just happened to call me Dad. And then the white car appeared, parked far from our house, always the same model. In the evenings, after dinner, Emily started saying, "I'm going for a walk, need some fresh air." And I saw from the window how she walked purposefully not towards the park, but towards that very white car. The door would open, she would slip inside, and the car would drive away. She'd return a couple of hours later with a slight smell of alcohol on her breath and cheeks that were a little too flushed. She'd brush off my questions with, "Met a friend, had a couple of cocktails." One night, watching Luke sleep, I made a decision. I ordered the test online, the DNA one, a little kit that was supposed to put an end to my torment. The box arrived. I hid it in my desk drawer, still hesitating to take that step. But one day I couldn't take it anymore and brought it up. Calmly, without accusations. I said, "Emily, these doubts are driving me crazy. Let's just do the test so I can put my mind at ease, and we'll forget this ever happened." What happened next was unlike her. It wasn't just offense. Real fury flashed in her eyes, mixed with fear. She screamed that I was sick, that I was destroying the family with my crazy ideas, that I was unworthy of being a father. This wasn't defense. It was a crushing blow. The next morning, I left for work as usual, feeling an icy emptiness inside. Returning that evening, I opened the door to silence, a silence that was too deep. Her ridiculous red boots weren't in the hallway. I walked into the bedroom. Half the closet was empty. Her makeup, her documents were gone. And Luke was gone. On the kitchen table was a note, just one line. "You didn't need me or your son. We won't bother you anymore." It meant only one thing. She had something to hide, and her escape wasn't an emotional impulse. It was a well-planned operation. She didn't just leave. She ran away, taking not my child. The rage was so white-hot I couldn't see straight. Did they think I would break? That I would just give up and let them live their lives as if nothing had happened? Oh, no, they were mistaken. I took that test out of the drawer, but now I didn't need an answer. I needed proof. I went to the lab myself, submitted my sample, and waited. The days dragged on like years, and then the result came. Probability of paternity, 0. I didn't feel pain, only an icy, concentrated anger. This wasn't just an act of betrayal. This was a years-long lie. She had made me love a child that wasn't even mine. She had stolen years of my life, my emotions, my love. And so my hunt began. I didn't call, I didn't beg, I didn't threaten. That's for weaklings. I started digging. Her friends' social media, her relatives. Within a week, I found him. Mark, the owner of that white car. His profile was glowing with happiness. A new love. Pictures of him, Emily, and Luke, like one happy family. They weren't even hiding. I gathered everything. The DNA test results, printouts of their messages I managed to recover, where they discussed their meetings and mocked me. The blind idiot. I compiled it all into one perfect, legally sound document, and then I sent it. Not to Emily, and not to Mark. I sent it to everyone. Her parents, who thought I was the perfect son-in-law. His parents, who I'm sure didn't know their son was a homewrecker. Their mutual friends, Mark's boss at the office, with a note about how his employee spent his lunch breaks. I laid out the whole truth, cold and indifferent like a scalpel. Then I sat back and waited. The call came 3 hours later. It was Emily. She wasn't screaming. She was sobbing. Sobbing so hard her words were unintelligible. She was saying something about me ruining her life, about everyone knowing now. I cut her off and said calmly, in that icy tone that was born in me after her escape, "No, Emily, you ruined it yourself. I just connected the dots for everyone. Enjoy the consequences." I hung up. Revenge isn't a sweet feeling. It's a quiet, cold emptiness. But it is justice. And sometimes, justice is all you have left. They stole my past, but I made sure they wouldn't have a peaceful future.